Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Melanda Septyana Maharani. Now I would like to explain about the violation of the neutrality of state civil servants in the general election. In Law Number 5 of 2014, which read to realize the goals of the state, it is necessary to have a state civil apparatus that has a neutral attitude and it's free from all kinds of politics. The role of the state civil apparatus in general election is only as a planner, implementer, and supervisor through the implementation of public policy and public service that are neutral and free from the political intervention. However, the problems that often arise is there are still many civil servants who do the politics unintentionally in the general election, which has proven to provide support to one of the participants in the general election. The non-neutrality of ASN is based on the various motives, including the economic motive, social motive, cultural motive, ethical motive, and others. Based on this, there are several impacts if this non-neutrality process is carried out by government employees, including the abuse of position authority and the implementation of regional civil service management that is not in accordance with existing standards, resulting in the acceptance of honorary employees, unclear mindset, and bureaucracy performance. The neutrality arrangement of the state civil apparatus is intended to maintain their unity and cohesiveness. In this regard, the neutrality of the state civil apparatus is more focused on the interests of the state than on the interests of the government. The regulation of the neutrality of state civil apparatus in the election. According to Law Number 5 of 2014, Article 2, Letter F, if it states that neutrality is one of the principles in the implementation and management of ASN. In the explanation of the ASN law, it state that the principle of neutrality is that every ASN employee doesn't take side from any form of influence and doesn't take the interest of anyone. The indicators used to measure the neutrality in research that have been conducted are not involved and not taking side. The not involved in the sense of not being a successful team of candidate, the candidate during the campaign period or participation in the campaign either by using party attribute or civil several attribute. The not taking side in the sense of not helping to make decision and action that benefit and of the part of candidate, not holding activities that lead to taking side with one of the candidate. The causes violation of neutrality by the state civil servants. So far, the state civil apparatus is considered not yet neutral or still taking side and tends to be involving in the support of one candidate pair in the regional head election. Many election supervisory bodies also carry out clear and firm regulator provision and campaigns or movement for the need to neutrality of ASN, but the violation of the neutrality of ASN remains. The State Civil Apparatus Commission raised several factors causing ASN to not be neutral, including motive for obtaining or retaining position. There is a primordial relationship, lack of understanding of regulation related to neutrality, and other factors such as pressure from superiors. The several obstacles in enforcing the ASN neutrality principle can be divided into two levels, namely the macro level and micro level. The macro levels political patronage hinders the application of the ASN neutrality principle. The prevalent political system has a very high cost. This makes it very possible for them to use this power by mobilizing the support of ASN employees who have authority over the state or regional budget and asset. This makes it difficult for ASN employees to be neutral. And the micro level, the obstacles at the micro levels in upholding the principle of neutrality, including the mindset of ASN employees. The ASN employees' low awareness of the importance of being neutral in administering government. The attitude of some ASN employees who prioritize easy. The monitoring system for violation of ASN neutrality is not optimal, and the KASN recommendations are ignored by the personal development officer. The implementation of law against the violation of neutrality of state civil servants. From the perspective of criminal law, the provision prohibiting the involvement of the state-owned enterprise as a violation, not as a crime under the provision of Article 17, Paragraph 1 and Article 189 of Law Number 8 of 2015. Normatively, the neutrality law enforcement only applies to civil servants who violate the provision of Law Number 43, Article 3, Paragraph 2 and Paragraph 3. It's a rise of the effort by the government to properly enforce a statutory regulation in accordance with the establishment norms. Law enforcement itself is divided into several processes, namely formulation, ratification, and application of norms that have been formulated. Law enforcement related to the neutrality of civil servants is law enforcement relating to the duties and authority as well as the position of the civil servant himself. The conclusion: the principle of neutrality is that every ASN employee doesn't take side from any form of influence and doesn't take the interest of anyone, and the enforcement of the neutrality law only applies to civil servants who violated the provision of Law Number 43, Article 3, Paragraph 2 and Paragraph 3. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.